how to relax and sleep better with CPAP. And even if you don't use CPAP, I'm going to show you guys some techniques, some breathing techniques, some mental techniques that are super successful, proven to work to help you fall asleep. And we're going to talk about CPAP in general. So let's just jump right into this whole deal. So I know that many of you do perfectly fine with CPAP. No problem whatsoever. No problem. Easy peasy. But for some, and that's who I really want to address initially. We're going to address everyone and all of the issues, but initially, let's talk about the folks who are probably new on CPAP and probably have a semi or a very high CPAP pressure. And for those folks, it's really super difficult. A little bit, you may feel like this guy right here. I have a picture. This is a blowfish on the screen with the eyes bugging out. And I've set people up on CPAP so many times. That initial burst of pressure, the first time that you feel that sensation. He's a cute little guy, but the pressure just feels like it is absolutely too much. And I want to tell you a little bit about that and what's going on. So obviously, you're not used to having pressure in your airway, in your oropharynx, in your lungs, in your throat. So that pressure initially feels like something crazy, making your eyes bug out, and it can be very startling actually, especially when the pressure gets above 8 or 12. It can really be quite a sensation. The other part of it is CPAP stands for continuous positive airway pressure. So that positive pressure is going to be continuous. And so what that means is that even when you have completed an exhale with every breath on CPAP, once you've exhaled all of your carbon dioxide out, the exhale is complete, you still have this pressure in your airway. And that is a sensation that takes time to get used to. And that's what I really always am encouraging people, is to really definitely at least start the night out with CPAP every night when you're new. And eventually you just become more and more acclimated to it. It gets easier and easier. No longer will you feel like that little fish with the eyes bugging out. You'll actually come to love the CPAP. So the pressure sensation is one thing that definitely takes time to sort of get used to, get acclimated to it, and that will happen. And it's different for different people. Sometimes we're talking about 0 nights. Some people just acclimate right away. It might be 1 or 2 nights. Some people takes months and months to really get used to it. But again, the key is to start the night off every single night. Now, the other factor that I see a lot with people, especially new on CPAP, but also if you're not new, this may be something that sort of comes in a cycle from time to time, year after year. And that is just kind of some anxiety, or maybe you're thinking about it too much. You know that old adage, don't think about the elephant in the room. And what is everybody thinking about right now? Obviously an elephant, right? So when you think about it too much, it really can become a burden. And there are a couple of tricks that I want to show you right now. And one of them, it's called the physiological sigh. The physiological sigh is a simple breathing technique that is super efficient at actually helping you to overcome some anxiety. And it has been physiologically proven to actually lower your heart rate. So for those of you who are listening on podcasts, you may be driving. This is not recommended while driving, especially if you've never done it before, because it can make you feel a little lightheaded. So also, if you have heart conditions, it may be something you want to run by your doctor before you do this. But if you're generally healthy, just sleep apnea, using your CPAP, you can do this even while you are using the CPAP. It is effective regardless whether you're using the CPAP at the moment or if you're just, sitting around the house. But to be seated is really helpful. And we're just going to do this. I want to show you. Let's talk about it first, and then we're going to actually do it. It's pretty simple. The physiological sigh, again, it has been proven that it will lower your heart rate, and it will actually make you feel a lot more comfortable. The physiological sigh also is something that you probably are already doing about the time you fall asleep. As a respiratory therapy background in the hospitals many, many years ago, I always like to say I used to be a respiratory therapist, but we had a setting on the ventilator, help people fall asleep and relax on the ventilator. And it's just something that we do naturally. It's innate. We're born with this sort of mechanism to help us relax. You might not be aware that you've done it, but you have most likely done this. So what you do is you inhale through your nose, a regular and normal breath. Then at the end of that inhale, you inhale a little more and a little more vigorously. You're not going to be able to take on that second inhale. It won't be as much air coming in, but you get it. You just sort of are expanding your lungs a little more than you normally would. After that second inhale through your nose, then you blow the air forcefully but slowly out of your lips, and you make a swoosh sound when you do so. So let me just show you. Here's how I would do this, and you guys can try it too. All right, so it goes like this. All right, I'm gonna do it again. So that is 2 cycles right there. So if you're new at doing this, it's recommended to not do it more than 2 times. And honestly, I feel a little bit lightheaded right now. I don't know if it's because we're live on the air or if it's that physiological sigh. But if you've done it and you are practiced at doing this, you can do 4 cycles of this, and you will be so relaxed that it should help you to fall asleep, even while you're using your CPAP again. So the physiological sigh, and you can look that up and Google it and look at studies that were done. You'll find it to be super, super interesting. Now, here's another one. And actually, I like this one a little bit better. And partly because it's not as aggressive. It's just a more relaxed way of breathing in general. And it is called the 4-7-8 breathing technique. And you can see this here on the screen. And so the 4-7-8, it's just a number. So just remember that number in your head tonight if you happen to be having trouble falling asleep. Just remember the 4-7-8 breathing. You're lying down, you're on your CPAP, or maybe you don't use CPAP, but you would breathe in. These are seconds. So you breathe in for 4 seconds, and then you hold that breath for 7 seconds. And that's the most important part of it right there. And then at the end of the 7 seconds, you exhale through your mouth again, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. But the 8 is the exhaling for 8 seconds. So let's do that one time. And I'm just going to count seconds with hand signals with my fingers. And again, make sure you're seated. And if you're driving a car right now, definitely don't do this. All right, so let's go. Ready? Go. Inhaling through your nose. All right, that's it. So notice something that is super important about all of this is that the exhale, 8 seconds, is twice as long as the inhale, 4 seconds. That helps you get more carbon dioxide out of your system. It's very helpful. And that's also why you're breathing through your mouth and making that sound. When you make a swoosh sound out of your mouth, it actually creates a little bit of back pressure deep down into the alveoli of the lung, which allows the carbon dioxide to get out of your respiratory system and into your out of your bloodstream and into your respiratory system, so you can exhale more carbon dioxide that way. So the 4-7-8 breathing is proven to relieve anxiety and stress, and just, you do that cycle for, maybe I would say 4 times on that one as well. And chances are good that you, if not asleep, you'll be very, very relaxed with the 4-7-8 breathing. Again, it's 4 seconds in through your nose, hold it for 7 seconds, and then exhale, making a swoosh sound for 8 seconds. And that is the 4-7-8 breathing. And again, that is one that I absolutely love very, very much. Now, next, we are going to talk about the military technique for sleep. The military technique for sleep is super, super interesting. It's real. It's something that the military did keep secret for many, many years, but now it's out, and it's a very effective way to actually get some sleep. Before we go, I just real quick want to share with you what we're doing on the website right now, affinityhm.com. Everything is 25% off. You don't have to know a code. You don't have to do anything except go add that to your cart. Take a look at the price. You'll see it slashed by 25%. Everything on the entire site. It's all kinds of CPAP stuff, massage. We have socks. We have hot, cold packs, which my wife loves those very much. And we have just tons of stuff. So definitely look all around in there, and you'll find something that you like. So definitely go check that out over at affinityhm.com. All right, now the military sleep technique. The military sleep technique is super interesting, and we're going to go over it in some detail right now. With the military sleep technique, it's real important to, first thing you want to do is you want to prepare your environment. So preparing the environment consists of a lot of different parts and pieces. So as you're preparing your environment, what you want to do first is make sure that there is no light and no noise. Now, I'm already getting some hands up. Some people are saying no light and no noise. Well, some people do not like pitch black darkness, and that's okay. Some people like to have some sort of white noise or pink noise or brown noise, some sort of noise that sort of drowns out other noises. And each of those things are fine. However, if it's related to the light, make sure if you have a light on at all, it's best that it's actually a red light, a red colored light, or an infrared type of light, which will allow you to see well. However, it is not any sort of waveform of light that will stimulate you into wakefulness. And definitely another little trick is to not use blue light. When I say blue light, I think most of you may know, but we're talking about computer screens, phone screens, TV, or any type of light that is electronic actually sends a blue light signal that has been determined that it actually creates a little bit of wakefulness. It's very much like the sunrise light that one sees. So definitely if you do have a light in the background while you're sleeping, make it a red light. And then as far as noise goes, that is kind of to each his own. You know, some people do like the noise, but as long as it's something very steady, I do not recommend a TV or a radio in the background, although you may have done that for many years, but you may have also for many years not been getting as much REM sleep as you could get. So make sure it's some sort of solid noise. And then next and finally, regarding creating the right environment, it is definitely best to put your temperature at around 65 degrees. There are study after study after study that show that that is the very best temperature for sleeping. So the next thing that you do after your environment is really well done. And again, we're doing the military technique for sleep. Once the environment is in place, you're lying in your bed, you're ready to fall asleep, and you want to relax your body. And there's some techniques here that are really, really helpful. One, we just talked about two different little breathing techniques that you could use. But even if you don't use the 4-7-8 breathing technique or the physiological sigh technique, just breathe slowly and deeply, and make sure you know that your exhale is longer than your inhale. So that's really helpful. Next, again, the military uses this technique. So you're going to be conscious of any facial muscles that you have flexed, and your eyes are closed, but just relax all of your facial muscles as much as you possibly can, and especially remove the tension from your forehead, your jaw, and the muscles around your eyes. You may be surprised as you practice this how much you will discover that actually, oh wow, I'm trying to fall asleep, but I was kind of clenching my body, and it just makes it much harder to fall asleep. So relaxing around your forehead, around your jaws, around your eyes. So basically just your entire face. You're just trying to just relax everything. Okay. And then the next thing is you want to feel that relaxation, not only in your face and facial muscles, but throughout your entire body. You just become cognizant of what muscles are being flexed right now and what muscles do I need to loosen up. All right, here's the next one. Uh, it's been discovered that actually, if you take your shoulders as you're lying in bed and just kind of drop them, I'm not talking about pushing them down and stressing, but just a relaxed, more drop your shoulders in a very relaxed state. That helps tremendously. And again, inhale deeply and exhale slowly. And it is best if you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, although not absolutely necessary. And then finally, as far as relieving tension and relaxing, remove the tension from your legs. And I'm bad about this myself. I will find that I have my foot or my leg sort of like in an odd little tense state. And once you've relaxed your face, drop your shoulders, relax the tension throughout your body and your legs and feet, then you're ready for the next step. And the next step, once you're completely relaxed, is more mental. It has to do with the thoughts that are in your mind, because as you know, the more you start thinking about this and that and where I got to be tomorrow and what time I got to be there and did I get the report done and et cetera, then going to sleep is almost, not even on the table anymore, right? So it's important to sort of train your mind to focus on other things. So in the military technique, what they tell the soldiers to do is to actually imagine that they're out on a lake on a beautiful day in a canoe. And once you're out there on that lake and in that canoe, you're just looking around and just enjoying nature and the scenery. You may even imagine, some sounds of nature, some relaxing and gentle sounds of the water. And so it may sound a little bit crazy, but this does work. I do it. And once you've relaxed, you have the right environment, you've relaxed, and you're imagining yourself in this canoe. Most of my canoe trips, so to speak, are very short, very short, because I'm gone. I'm out to sleep. Another technique that they tell the soldiers is to maybe imagine yourself in a black velvet hammock. If you don't like the idea of being out in the water in a canoe, right? Maybe a black velvet hammock would be nice. And then finally, and I think this one might be the most important, and it's really just almost like a distraction that you present for yourself, and you simply, not out loud, but in your mind, you're saying, "Don't think, don't think, don't think." So it's kind of, you do one or the other. You do the canoe, the hammock, or the don't think. But if you just continuously say to yourself, "Don't think," for like a period of maybe 10 seconds, you might be asleep. So that is again proven to be effective at actually helping people to fall asleep. And so let's just review real quickly. We had the physiological sigh, which is 2 short inhales followed by a long exhale. We had the 4-7-8 breathing, which is breathing in through your nose for 4 seconds, then hold that for 7 seconds, and then exhale for 8 seconds. And those techniques are super great. And if those don't work, or maybe do those along with the military technique where you make sure your environment is right, you make sure your body is completely relaxed, and then you use those exercises with your mind, the canoe trip or the black velvet hammock or the don't think, don't think, don't think. And you'll probably fall asleep faster tonight than you ever have. I hope. That's the reason that I did this research for you guys, is literally, I want to help you. I want to help you feel more comfortable with your CPAP and to be able to fall asleep more easily. Now, if you didn't catch the very beginning of this video, it's on record. So you'll be able to go back and take a look at that, especially if you're new on CPAP. I want to be sure that you go and look at the beginning of this video, because we really address some really important stuff at the very beginning. So if you guys haven't already done it, please do type into comments #AffinityHM, and you're going to be in a contest to win a gift card from Affinity Home Medical here in just a moment. Let me put that up on the screen. You got a couple of seconds left to do this. We're going to draw for it right here live. It's Affinity HM, no spaces, no nothing, just hashtag Affinity, just like you see there on the screen. Put that in comments, regardless of where you're watching from. But put that in comments, and we're going to draw to see who wins this prize right now. Here we go. The winner of the gift card from Affinity HM tonight is, I see a lot of people here. Thank you, guys. I'm going to get y'all's questions. Martha Hopkins. Martha Hopkins is the winner, watching from YouTube. Martha, thank you so much for being here, first of all. And secondly, if you would, please send me an email to admin@affinityhm.com, and I will shoot your gift card over there to you through the email. You can use it on any product you want. And again, guys, we have a massive sale happening now. Massive. This is the biggest percentage that we've ever done. It's 25%, and it's on every single thing in the entire shop, and shipping is free if you order more than $50 worth of supplies. We have CPAP masks, CPAP machines. We have backup batteries for your CPAP. So 25% is a considerable chunk of change that you can save right there. So definitely buy this stuff before it runs out. Buy it before it runs out. 25%. You don't need a code. You just put it into your cart, and you are going to be cooking with gas, as they say. All right, let's take a look at comments, see who all is here with us tonight. Oh my goodness, we have everybody. Mike, Diane's here. Amy, hello Amy, and Tanya is here, and Jane, and Mike, and more people. Jennifer's here. There's Martha, who just won. Lucky Martha. All right, and so good. All right, let's see. So I see some people are going to be sharing this with a friend. Look, even if it's somebody that does not use CPAP, these techniques are super helpful. And as a matter of fact, not just related to sleep. So, these breathing exercises that I shared are good for anxiety too. Just if you're having a rough moment, you want to relax, try the 4-7-8 breathing. Try the physiological sigh, and it can be super helpful. So I think it's something that would be great to share around on your Facebook to all of your friends. Why not, right? All right, so let's see. Okay, Jane has a nice comment here. It's taken a while, but now I can just roll over on my side and I'm out immediately until morning. I'm having to use mouth tape because of dry mouth, but it's made a lot of difference. Absolutely, Jane. Yes, that is such good of news, because Jane, I remember you did have some problems in the beginning, and I'm so happy to hear that you have hung in there and worked through all those problems. It's so good. Thank you so much. I'm glad you did that. All right. So we got some new folks here as well. All right, good. Well, that is all that I have for you guys tonight. Next week, if you would, please, in comments right now, let me know. Are you going to be here next week? I would like to know. Just put a 1 in comment if you're going to be here next week, Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central Time. Put a 2 in comments if you cannot make it, because I have a brand new CPAP mask that you have never seen before. It was just released, and I'm going to show you guys this new mask. It is amazing, and I'm going to review it for you and let you know the pros and the cons on this new CPAP mask, and we'll just go from there. So I look forward to seeing you guys as always, and so we'll see you next time. Same day, same time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Have a good night.